Lauren.
And I'm Katie.
And you're listening to Ropedrop Parkhop.
Hi, friends. That's a loaded sigh.
We'll just
start
read
with a review.
Yes. This one is from A.A.H.1982. So I'm going to choose that is 1982. That's how you read that. Do you think?
Maybe.
Look at it. 1982.
I think it's
I think it's initials, but
Alexander Hamilton.
1982. It's Alexander Hamilton.
Thank you, A.Ham.
A.Ham, thank you. Favorite Disneyland podcast. So probably favorite Disneyland podcast. 5 stars. Love listening to these ladies every week. I grew up going to Disneyland and love their enthusiasm and practical approach to explaining rides, events, foods, experiences. They are incredibly honest with listeners and each other. You can feel their love and passion for Disney in every episode. They are my favorite Disneyland podcast, period. Thank you.
Nice. Thank you for the review.
And 1982. That was a good year for music, wasn't it?
Sure.
I think.
I liked all of the 80s for music.
For real.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, all of the 80s were good.
Okay. We have a tiny bit of news this week. We have a really fun guest today, or two.
Yes, we have
two fun guests today.
Fun guests today that we're very excited about, that we've been trying to get for a little while. Yes. So we're totally pumped.
We hope you'll be excited too.
Yes, and kind of a fun thing about this episode, we haven't done a food episode in a while.
Yes,
and
everybody loves a good food episode.
Yes, we're going to talk with these 2 guests about our favorite foods at Disneyland. So stick around for that.
Mm-hmm. So really the big news this week is Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway. We predicted that as soon as we stopped recording last week, they would announce virtual queue information. And guess what? They did. So really quick refresher on how virtual queues work. But first, let me give you a few details on Mickey and Minnie.
And let's talk that it's opening this Friday.
Yes.
So when you're listening to this, the 27th, well, if you're listening on the day we drop it, Mickey and Minnie's is opening
today, right?
Cast member preview started, I believe, today, the day that we're recording, Tuesday.
Okay. Well, that's fun.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So located in Toontown, of course. The rest of Toontown is not currently open. So
until March.
You'll just have a little pathway to get back to the ride, I'm assuming.
And sad news, no Roger Rabbit.
No Roger Rabbit. Sorry, guys. There's no height requirement on this ride, so that's fun. And you must transfer from wheelchair ECV. So it's not going to load your wheelchair or ECV onto the ride. Let's see, what else can I tell you about this? Virtual queue. You can use the virtual queue, of course. You can also purchase what's called an individual lightning lane, which we've talked about before. There are currently 2 rides at the Disneyland Resort that use individual lightning lane.
Right.
Oops. And those are Radiator Springs Racers and Rise of the Resistance. So this will add to that. You can only buy
2 per day.
2 individual lightning lanes.
Yeah, and I assume that will stand.
Yes.
I don't think that they'll change that, because that's how it was when Web Slingers was an individual lightning lane as well.
Right. And then individual lightning lane will vary by day. So it's the surge pricing that we all know and love that stays the same for Rise of the Resistance but fluctuates for Radiator Springs. So
have they given us a price range on it?
I haven't seen one yet.
Okay. And if you haven't experienced this attraction in Orlando, we'll give you a little brief overview. It is a trackless attraction similar to what you have experienced at Rise of the Resistance. It's cute. It's super cute. The premise is that Mickey and Minnie are headed out for a picnic, and they encounter Goofy, and they decide to go on a train ride with Goofy, and things kind of run amok. And it's just a fun ride. And it's kind of a different ride every time you ride it because it's trackless, so you kind of can go in different directions and do different things. And we have heard that there is an extra scene in the Disneyland version that the Walt Disney World version does not have. So that's exciting.
Right. And I'm surprised we haven't heard any leaks about that yet.
Well, I think, that's probably true. But I think today's day numero uno for cast members. And then I know that there are some Instagram people who are there who are invited by cast members to check it out. So I know that today's the day people are starting to get to ride it.
Mm-hmm. And then you can get no more than 1 boarding pass per day if you use the virtual queue. So the virtual queue, I'll give you those details in just a second, but you have 2 chances to join the virtual queue per day, and you can only win the lottery once.
Right. So if you get it in the morning, you cannot get it again in the afternoon.
Yeah. So the biggest tip I have is to make sure your app is updated before you get to the parks, and make sure that you're not on Wi-Fi when you're trying for that virtual queue. So,
and I like to recommend, we had someone reach out to us this week and ask us and tell us they were a little bit nervous about it. If you have an Apple Watch, switch to a face that has a second hand. Or if you
have someone else in your party do the countdown for you.
And then if there's more than one person in your party, have all of your tickets connected through your app and have everybody in their own account. You don't want to have more than one person in the same account trying to get a virtual queue. Have everybody logged into their own account, have all of your tickets connected, and then just work together.
And let's see. So for virtual queue, let's just do a little refresher on how that works. So there's 2 chances, 7 a.m. and 1 p.m. Pacific time. The 7 a.m. virtual queue, you do not have to be in the parks to join, obviously, because the parks won't be open yet at 7 a.m. So join from your hotel or your drive to Disneyland or wherever you're coming from. And then the 1 p.m. virtual queue, you will need to be scanned into either Disneyland or California Adventure. Either one is fine.
And you can leave. You don't have to be on property, but you have to have scanned in at some point prior to 1 o'clock.
Make sure you confirm your party before the virtual queue opens. So you don't want to be trying to fumble around with pushing buttons and adding people right at 7 a.m. because you will miss your chance. A Disneyland reservation and or park hopper ticket is required, obviously, right? Because if you're in California Adventure with a 1-day ticket, you can't go to Disneyland to ride the ride. And then boarding passes, they run out fast.
They do.
And this ride is going to be extremely popular for the first few months, maybe the first year even. So turn your Wi-Fi off, close all your apps. Do not disturb on your phone is a good tip because I've had a phone call come in when I've been trying to join a virtual queue one time.
That's terrible timing.
Yes.
And then you can find the virtual queue on the main page when you enter your Disneyland app. Scroll down, you'll find the virtual queue. That's where you're going to select your party and make sure everybody's ready to go. And then at 6:59, make sure you have that second hand pulled up. When you get to 6:59 and 58 seconds, I would start refreshing. So you're going to drag the screen down to refresh it. And as soon as you see a pop-up that says join, you can click that to join. It'll take you to a confirmation page, and then you should be in.
Yep. So it's really just one button push. It used to be a little bit more complicated than that when Rise of the Resistance first opened. And you had to go through a couple of different screens. Now it's pretty much just one and done. So it's easy. It's very user-friendly. You'll be able to find it really easily from the home screen on the app.
And don't panic. But just
don't panic.
That second hand is helpful. Super helpful.
Yes. And these virtual queue boarding passes do not count towards your Genie Plus Lightning Lane selection, if that makes sense. So you can hold that and a Lightning Lane selection at the same time.
Correct. And you can also hold an individual Lightning Lane and a Lightning Lane selection. So if you're not able to get a Genie Plus, or if you are wanting to ride the ride twice, you're able to do that by getting a virtual queue. And you're also able to purchase that individual Lightning Lane, and that won't count against you.
And then just some things to note. You'll get a notification to head to the attraction when it's your time, and you have an hour usually is your designated return time. Not all boarding groups are called every day. So you may get a higher boarding group, and they may not make it to you by the end of the day, especially if the ride has any issues, which these trackless rides
tend to have issues. Because as soon as anybody drops anything, sunglasses, a hat, a bobby pin, anything on that trackless floor, they have to reset the ride. So it takes a little while to do that. And I think that's pretty much it. Make sure you have the notifications enabled in your app so that you can get your virtual queue updates as the day goes on. And they will show progress. And so if you're in virtual queue group 73, you would be able to, it'll tell you an estimated time of when you're going to return. And then also you can check throughout the day to see which boarding groups they are currently loading, and you'll kind of get a good idea for when you'd be showing back up. So it's easy. Let us know if you have any questions. We're happy to help. Yeah. Good luck. It is a little bit nerve-wracking, but it's also really exciting. And if you do the virtual queue in the park at 1 p.m., it's fun because you'll see a bunch of other people also trying for it. And you'll hear a bunch of shouts and screams and a bunch of aw right at 1 o'clock. When we were at Epcot a couple of weeks ago, we did the 1 o'clock for Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind. And it's funny because, you kind of find a spot to sit down a few minutes ahead of the 1 o'clock time. And so does everybody else. You see other people grabbing their phones and coming over to the sides. And then right at 1 o'clock, you hear husbands and wives, I got it, or did you get it? And everyone's really excited, and you can hear people getting excited. It's kind of fun. It is really fun. Okay. So pay attention to that. And then also this Friday, or today, if you're listening to this today, Wondrous Journeys, the fireworks show, will debut at 9:30 p.m.,
And there's some new information on what Baymax is going to look like in the show. Apparently, he has rocket boosters that launch him into the sky.
That's kind of fun.
So I'm excited to see what it looks like. That should be really fun. The Disney College Program application started today. I know that's not Disneyland specific, but if you are somebody interested in that, those open today, and good luck because it's really awesome. And I hope you can get in. In refurb news, Silly Symphony, Erin's favorite ride.
Yeah, I've never ridden it.
Going down for refurb.
I think I'd throw up. I haven't ever done it.
You should try it. I like it. We don't do it every single time, but I do like it.
Do you think I'd get sick?
I don't know. You'll have to put out a question to the general audience because I don't get sick on any ride, so I don't know.
It seems to me like I would get sick. But tell me, if you are a motion sick person, tell me if you're able to do Silly Symphony swings because it makes me nervous.
Okay, so anyway, it's going down for refurb February 27th and no reopening date yet as far as the calendar goes out. And then it looks like construction may be getting underway at Pacific Wharf to change it to San Francisco. They've drained the water, and who knows what this means. It could mean nothing.
I hate when they drain the water there. I don't love it.
It's ugly.
It's muddy and yucky looking, and it makes me sad every time.
So hopefully that does mean that construction is starting and they're not just draining it to drain it. I don't know. And then the 100-year celebration banners and medallions and all that good stuff, and the castle is getting all decked out. I saw some pictures of that today. It's looking really cute. And then Lunar New Year news. Did we talk about this last week that Oswald is doing a meet and greet?
Yes.
For the first time in a long time. Okay,
I think we might have talked about that, but Hortensia.
Yes, Oswald and Hortensia. And the reason that they've got both of them is because it's the year of the rabbit in Chinese and Korean zodiacs, but in Vietnamese zodiac, it's the year of the cat.
I was going to ask you why that is.
Yes, so they're having both of them. And then Oswald is also appearing in the Lunar New Year processional, along with Mulan and
cute.
Mushu and Goofy.
Do you want to know what I saw today? And I was going to tell my kids this, and I haven't seen my kids yet, but they have a new Nuemo, which my kids love Nuemos. And they have an Oswald Nuemo that they just introduced this week, which is so cute.
People love Oswald.
He's cute.
He's very nostalgic, right?
Yes, and I mean, I'm a big fan. He's cute. And it's kind of fun to meet him because he's rare. And Hortensia, this is her first time ever being at Disneyland.
Disneyland, yes.
In America.
She's been at the Asian parks before.
So that's totally cool.
Yeah.
Anyway, it's cool.
She's really cute, too.
She's
got a cute little costume on. All right. I think that's it for news. So stay tuned. We've got a fun episode for you today. Our podcast is brought to you by Mouse World Travel. Imagine going on the most stress-free, well-planned Disney vacation of your life. Now imagine you didn't pay anything extra for that personalized service. That's what you'll get when you use an authorized travel planner from Mouse World Travel to book your next Disney vacation. From resorts to cruises and everything in between, they are here to help you get the most out of your next family trip. Just go to mouseworldtravel.com, fill out a short request form, and make sure you mention our code Ropedrop so they know that we sent you.
All right. This week, we're so excited to have Tage and Teresa from the DL Weekly with us. Yay!
We can't figure out our applause button on our machine, but there it is.
We had Chris Provost from Provost Park Pass a couple of weeks ago as a guest, and he has the same Rodecaster board that we have, and he knows all of his sound effects. Yeah. And so he inserted applause when he was
for himself.
Anyway, hi guys.
Hello, thanks for having us.
We're so happy that you guys joined us. Thank you so much. And you're coming to us all the way through the miracle of technology, you're coming to us all the way from Wisconsin.
Yes, us weird. We were just talking about this. We were kind of bonding because we're these people that love Disneyland from afar. So yeah, we're kind of oddballs in the Midwest because a lot of people in the Midwest tend for Walt Disney World. So the fact that Disneyland is our thing makes us even more unique.
Yep. Now, do you guys give equal love to Disney World? Do you go to Disney World very frequently, or are you Disneylanders?
Disneylanders. Every once in a while, we'll do the world, but
I've been to Disney World twice in my whole life.
Wow. So Disneyland is where your heart is. Same. We feel the same way.
Yeah. I mean, I grew up in California, so Disneyland was like my park. Yeah. And Disney World, part of my reason for and I've said this on our podcast a lot, which is that when I was younger, I got so mad at Disney World because for the longest time they were getting everything. Like when Michael Eisner was in charge, they kept building the resorts, they kept building new parks, they kept adding more stuff, and Disneyland kind of just sat and chugged along.
I heard you lamenting this on your episode last week. I just heard this.
Yes. So that is my bitterness towards Disney World. However, I will say, and I think I said this on the Hub Crawl episode that maybe goes out this week, that it's hard to beat the magic of getting on the ferry boat at Disney World and coming around that island and the castle is in the distance. That is like out of a fairy tale dream.
Yes, and it was on your episode last week from the Hub Crawl. So Tag also is a co-host of the Hub Crawl. We were on the Hub Crawl last year sometime, and go listen to that because that's a fun podcast.
Yeah,
I think it's such a fun roundtable discussion. So
tell us, how long have you been podcasting for Disneyland? So DL Weekly is your first podcast. How long has DL Weekly been going?
We just celebrated 5 years this past fall. So
that's exciting.
5 years.
Exciting. And then
it's crazy.
Yeah. And then the Hub Crawl is relatively new, right?
Yeah, the Hub Crawl just started last year.
Okay.
So
yeah, it gets kind of sticky because before Teresa and I were doing DL Weekly, which, once Teresa got added, that's when the popularity all happened. But I was doing a YouTube Disneyland Weekly video thing in 2012 because I worked for a news station and I kind of made it like a news broadcast. And then I found that editing video was just too hard and too time consuming, and so I stopped. But then I wanted to pick up that format again, and I was like, podcasts. But nobody wants to listen to one person talk at you for an hour. So I said, Teresa, would you do this podcast with me? And Teresa thought I was nuts. And honestly, I swore, if I would have had to bet, I would have said that she wouldn't have done it with me. But she was like, yeah, why not? And she's like, I don't even know what a podcast is, but sure. Yeah. So if you listen back to the original episodes, it mortifies Teresa because she's like, we sounded so terrible back then.
That is exactly our story. That's almost exactly our story too. Yeah. Almost exactly the same.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So it's worked out well. And one of the comments we get all the time is the fact that people like us. Apparently the content doesn't matter that much, but the chemistry that Teresa and I have together of our kind of, she's the bright, bubbly one. I'm the curmudgeon. And it kind of just works out.
You got to have balance, right?
And we get that feedback too, that people sometimes listen more just to listen to us. Like their trips have come and gone and they continue to listen to us, which we're so grateful for.
Yes.
Because of our chemistry and because we're friends. And so it's kind of fun to have that with somebody who loves something that you love. And yeah, I love that you guys have found that too. And 5 years is a long time. I'm a dental hygienist. And when I tell patients I have a podcast about Disneyland, they always are like, how do you find something to talk about every week about Disneyland for a year and a half now? And I was like, you'd be surprised. There's lots to talk about.
Yep. And speaking of things to talk about, we're going to talk about food today. That's probably my favorite subject.
I think it's everybody's favorite.
And we love a top 5, top 10 list. So we're going to go with that format today. So how do we want to get this started? Do we want to just round table, everyone take a turn, say their top favorites?
And I think ladies first. So let's start with you, Teresa. Do you want to go in order? Do you want to go 5, 4, 3, 2, 1? Or do you want to just go in no particular order?
I'm going to go in no particular order because it's hard enough to get just 5. So then to try and number them too.
I feel the same.
Usually I'm bad at these things because it's I'm not a parent. I only have furry 4-legged children, but picking stuff when it comes to Disneyland for favorites is always really tough.
Yes,
really tough.
I agree.
So, proud of myself that I've narrowed it to 5.
Good job.
But first one is kind of a give me. If you know me, if you've heard me talk before, Dole Whip. Dole Whip is
oh, nice.
I don't know. It's just so much more magical at Disneyland. I've had it at the Dole Plantation in Hawaii as well. It's also bomb there, but I've not had, outside of those 2 places, a Disney property or Dole. It just isn't the same. It is the same, but it just isn't the same. It's something about the ambiance, I suppose.
Now, are you a purist? Do you love the pineapple Dole Whip best?
Pineapple Dole Whip is best. However, I do love the Pixar Parfait over in DCA.
Oh, that's good to know.
Noted.
Yeah. Yes.
I'm a big fan of the coconut Dole Whip at Aloha Isle in Magic Kingdom.
Not available at the Disneyland Resort.
Nope,
I've
because
not
apparently
tried that.
coconut is not something we can have on the West Coast.
Could you imagine
Tags
a
over there
pineapple
shaking his
coconut
head.
swirl?
So good.
Amazing. The pina colada, right? The pina colada Dole Whip.
That's because all of the coconut goes into the Matterhorn macaroon.
That's probably true.
Maybe that's why they don't want to give us too much coconut, just a little bit at the Disneyland Resort. Well,
We might go a little crazy.
I know, for real. Okay, Tag, what's yours? Where are you starting us off?
Oh, man. Now you're telling me about an order?
No. You don't have to have an order. No order.
No order.
Just pick a random one.
The thing that I find myself thinking of the first thing I think of when I think of Disneyland food has been the grilled cheese sandwich with the tomato basil bisque or whatever at Jolly Holiday. And this week I came across this in the most surprising way, I guess. We were sitting waiting for the parade and I was hungry and I was like, well, I just need to go get something quick. So there was a mobile order window for Jolly Holiday. And I was like, I'll try the grilled cheese. It's warm, it's cold out. I'll get, whatever. And then I was like, wow, this is really good. And so now I've kind of tried to get it every single time because it's just so good.
Yeah, it's legit. And I actually forgot about it or I would have put that on my list. I had to walk myself through the park, like picking out different things at different places. And it was just really hard to narrow it down.
We love the grilled cheese and tomato soup. We get that every time we go, I think.
We do, yeah.
It's so good.
Okay, I'll go next. And I'm going to kind of try to go in order if I can. I'm going to see if I can do it. So I'm going to start off with, it's hard. I'm going to start off with the not so little chicken sandwich at Pim Test Kitchen.
And this is a new love for you.
This is a new
discovery for you.
Yes, I've only had it twice now. The last 2 times I've went. I've always wanted to order it, but I find other things on the menu that I like, so I'll order them instead. But I tried it finally, and it's so yummy. That chicken, that sauce.
The breading is really good on it.
The breading is good. There's like a coleslaw on it that's really good. It's a great lunch, and it's on my list for the next time I go. I'm going to have it for lunch.
Can we talk about food that's done us dirty for a second?
Has that done you dirty? Because if it has,
no. When you reminded me, though, when Pim Test Kitchen opened,
also, thank you for calling it Pim Test Kitchen and not Pim's. Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh, Teresa knows. Like, I correct her on it all the time. Or I used to. She's got it now. But we went there and we got what's the sandwich?
Pimini.
The pimini. And I was so excited for this. And we went there, and the first time I got it, it was really, really good. So I was like, oh, this is my new favorite thing. And then every time I've had it since, it got smaller and it didn't taste as good. And I've had it 2 other times. And after the first time of getting it, and it was bad. And then I got it again because I was like, well, maybe it was just like an off day. And Teresa said after the second time, she said, don't get it again. Like, it's just not going to be good. And then I tried it the third time. And I think she was like, I told you not to try it again.
The definition of insanity,
wasn't going to be good. And so I do not get the Pimini sandwich anymore because it was really good one time.
And that's one that you can order like the big size of too, isn't it? Where you can get the big family sized one.
It's the $100 sandwich at Disney.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, noted. I won't get it. I'll stick with my not so little chicken sandwich.
And for a minute I thought, well, maybe it's getting smaller because of the Pim particles, right? But if it doesn't taste good too, then that's not a good excuse.
Yeah.
Darn it.
Okay, what you got, Katie?
Okay, what do I... Well, first of all, to add on to your chicken sandwich, I love the tater tots at Pim Test Kitchen. Those are my honorable mention really fast before I forget. Okay, I'm going to start with the raspberry rose Mickey macaron.
Oh, so you're not going in order either?
Not really.
Because I think that's Katie's number one.
I'm just throwing it out there.
That one is good.
It's delightful. We have to get it every time. Our best.
Where is that one at?
That's also at Jolly Holiday. So whenever we get our grilled cheese sandwich and tomato soup, we get a macaron for dessert.
Have you had that?
Yeah, we've had it.
You have?
I just couldn't remember where it was because I'm kind of an obsessive when it comes to the macarons, which I don't know if you guys ever mispronounced and called it a macaroon and then gotten angry feedback from people.
Oh, of course.
But we did. Then we got angry feedback the other way. It's a macaroon. And I'm like, no,
it's not.
It is a macaron.
Yeah, but I'm a macaron fanatic. And that one's good. The thing is sometimes, and you think this is a good thing, but sometimes they're too big.
Yeah, I agree with that.
There's a lot of shareable. Mm-hmm.
Or they're too cold. Like I got the Snickers one last year that was part of the food booth.
Yes.
And it was too hard to bite into it. It was like solid. It was like right out of the freezer.
Yes. And when I got my Snickers one, it was like 40 degrees outside too. So I wasn't in the mood for an ice cream sandwich macaron.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
But
I
it was
remember
yummy.
you
A
saying
frozen
that.
Snickers.
And I
It
remember
was really hard to eat.
I remember you wondering if maybe they had just brought a new batch out and they weren't thawed all the way yet.
Yeah.
But if you had the same experience, maybe they were supposed to be cold. The raspberry ones, I don't love macarons. They're not my favorite. And so the raspberry ones, I don't mind. They're good. I like that they have the raspberries built in. So that
That's
I'm
what I
not
like
a
about it,
huge
too.
sweet
It
tooth,
cuts
so I
the
like
sweet.
Yep, the tart cuts the sweet. Okay, Teresa, let's go back to you.
So I'm gonna go on your chicken train, and I gotta throw in Plaza Inn chicken.
Oh,
I don't
good
know what it is. It's again, I don't do fried chicken tons like when I'm at home, but every time we go, I need to get Plaza Inn chicken. Flo's is also good too, but I like Plaza Inn better.
Do you like the whole meal or just the chicken?
So Tag always makes fun of me because I get really big eyes when I go to Disneyland and I want to eat everything. So I always have to share the plate. Usually what I do is I either share it with Tag or my husband, Vern, and I get the breast and I get a side salad, and that's like perfect for me.
That is perfect.
And it's a good value. That one is one that we always tell people, like if you're hungry and you can split with your family, that's a good one to order because you can get a lot for your buck with that meal.
And it's very good fried chicken.
It is.
Yeah, I agree with you there.
I don't even really like fried chicken, but the Plaza Inn fried chicken is good.
It's got that pixie dust in it.
It does.
I think that's the only place I get fried chicken. But Teresa and I had a bad experience with fried chicken because we tried, and it might have been because we got it first thing in the morning. So we're going to give it another shot eventually.
Your breakfast fried
But
chicken.
we went over to the, what's that booth in DCA? The chicken booth.
Oh, yeah. The
Toy Story
Pixar
one.
Pier.
Oh.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, all our minds went blank all at once. Poultry Palace.
We're fake fans.
Poultry Palace.
Poultry Palace.
Fake fan.
We went to Poultry Palace because we heard it was also good, and we got there right when the booth opened, and we got really piping hot fried chicken, which was nice. But we opened, it was the messiest fried chicken I've ever eaten in my life. It was greasy. It was dripping
It was
everywhere. It was terrible.
It's so funny. Weren't we just talking about this last time? That we have never
gone to Poultry Palace.
Never eaten at Poultry Palace.
It sounds like that's a good decision. It sounds like we've done well.
At least don't go right when they open.
Got it.
Because it apparently needs a little extra time to kind of drain.
That's
that's why you wanted to talk about food. You wanted to see like what not to get. 'Cause
Right.
Apparently, we're just giving you a bunch of what not
I know.
to
I was going to say, it seems like we're talking about everyone's favorite food and
the
Tag's-
mishaps of
and
Tag.
Tag's bad experiences.
I love it. It's
I
important.
wasn't the only one. Teresa ate the chicken too.
All right,
In fact,
Tag.
they have a grease stain on a shirt still from that.
From that.
my gosh.
That's so
That's
funny.
Yep.
A souvenir grease stain. Okay, Tag, redeem
Yeah.
yourself. Give us a redemption.
So I'm marking off Plaza Inn chicken because that was one of the many things
That's
I had
okay.
on my list. So
Okay.
that's fine. I don't have to talk about that. So Bengal barbecue.
Oh.
Not the spicy, but the sweet with like the Zulu sauce, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, really, really good. I love it. I didn't have it the last like 2 trips, I think, but we keep going during like specialty food times. So then it's like we have to, yeah. So Bengal barbecue.
I know this is not a visual medium for the people who are listening, but raise your hand if you had anything from Bengal barbecue on your list of 5. That's everybody. So Bengal barbecue is a winner.
Yes.
So I'll just I'll piggyback off that. And I know one of Katie's because we kind of discussed our lists beforehand. So I'm going to let her say her own. But I love the safari skewer, the bacon wrapped asparagus, and it comes with a little lemon wedge. And you have to squeeze the lemon over your asparagus and bacon, which sounds not good, but it is good. I don't know why. Lemon and bacon don't really mix normally, but so good. And I like the spicy. I think it's the banyan beef is what I like. The banyan beef skewer. I'm wary of all chicken, so I usually stick to the beef. I like the sweet beef and the hot beef. And I also really love
The pork belly.
That's Katie's, and I
Yeah.
love that one too.
The pork belly is really yummy.
Which, Teresa, why have we not tried the pork belly at
It's so good.
Bengal barbecue?
I have. Apparently, I tried that without you, though. I'm sorry.
That's okay. Because Teresa
Next
thought I was
trip.
nuts.
We'll do it next
Because
trip.
what was it? The holiday festival of the holidays. They had the one of the booths had the pork belly again, and she thought I was nuts because I went back and bought a second one just for me.
We just started the festival, literally our first booth, and we're trying stuff. And he's like, "This is so good, I want another." I'm like, "You need to save stomach space, sir." And he just beelines and goes and gets another.
That's one of my favorites. That rice that comes with that pork belly is so tasty.
Pork belly is good eating.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and the thing that turned me off to it to begin with was I don't really like fat, and the pork belly has fat, but like it's rendered and it's so good.
Yep,
and crispy and tasty. What was yours, Teresa? You raised your hand too.
Yeah, so I really like getting the plate because again, I don't like choosing things. So I get the plate. So I get but I get the usually I ask for the spicy, the banyan, and the Zulu sauce because I like them mixed. And then I also
that's a good
the veggie
idea.
skewer.
And the veggie
skewer. I don't know what it is about the veggie skewer, but I love the veggie skewer.
Okay, we're getting that next time we go.
Okay.
Wait. Pro tip.
Oh, yeah.
Buy an extra side of the sauce. It's like super cheap. It's like 50 cents or 70 cents or something. Yeah, it's really cheap.
Okay.
Awesome. Yeah, we've never done that before.
Noted.
Great idea.
And they have a good drink there too. I say Bengal barbecue is an excellent lunch.
It is.
So anyone listening,
that jungle julep
snack.
is
Love the jungle julep.
Yep. It's all good.
Now that they've converted that space into more tables, it's not a bad place to go sit and eat either. It used to be really hard to find a place to sit down and eat, but now it's not so bad.
And Bengal barbecue is portable. So you could really just grab one and go get in line for, when it's open, Indiana Jones, and just eat your delicious safari skewer while you're walking through the Temple of the Forbidden Eye. And
fun story about that.
Oh, boy.
We were there last year in March because I got married at the Disneyland Hotel last March. And I did. It was magical, beyond magical. But I was in the park on Saturday, and Tage and I were meeting up. And because I went in just to do some stuff with family, and then we were going, what did we have? We had a book signing my bachelorette party was going to like a Disney book signing. It was the most like Disney thing ever to have done. But Egg didn't have a ticket, and I'm like, do you want me to grab lunch? I'll bring lunch out. So I stopped and grabbed Bengal barbecue, and I'm walking through the park with my tray full of Bengal barbecue all the way through the turnstiles, and we ate like sitting right in front of the turnstiles, and then we continued on with our Disney day. It was so fun.
Amazing.
That's cute.
That's a great story. Very cute.
All right. Where are we? Who's next?
I think it's me.
Okay.
So my next on the list is the quesabirria tacos.
Oh.
Have you tried the sandwich at Jolly Holiday?
Not yet. It hasn't been there when we've been there. Does that make sense? Because they kind of like bring it back and forth.
It's back right now, isn't it?
It is back right now.
It is back.
And how is it?
It's back. Oh my gosh, it's so good. So the bread, the bread for that's the thing that makes a grilled cheese sandwich, I think, is the bread. You've got the like crispy layer plus like the thick and the like, I don't know, the juices from the meat of the quesabirria. Oh my gosh. It's so good.
Oh, okay.
And then it comes with a consomme to dip it in, right?
Yep.
And also,
and
did you know during Lunar New Year, they have a quesabirria
egg roll.
Yes. So over at one of the booths. I've heard, though, it's $9 for one egg roll.
Oh. Hopefully it's a big egg roll.
I've heard
it's not cost effective. Well, I mean, I guess if you have a sip and savor pass, it's probably fine to try. But people have said for your money, it's not the best bang for your buck. But it looks delightful.
It does look good.
That's one of the ones I crossed that one off of my list because we duplicated. Because I love that one too.
It's so good.
It's so good.
We have to get that every time. All right. I think it's Teresa's turn.
I'm going to travel outside of the parks, and we're going to head on over to one of the hotels because I love the poo-poo platter that you can get either at Tangaroa Terrace or Trader Sam's. So good. Everything
fried
about
green
it is
beans,
so
right?
good. The fried green beans. You've got the wontons. There's also these like, I don't remember what they toss the wings in, but they're so good.
So we had a listener who messaged us a couple nights ago. She's there on a solo trip. And it's her first time there, and she was trying to figure out where to eat in downtown Disney. And I said, go to Tangaroa Terrace. And so she did and went and got the poo-poo platter, and she said it was amazing. She's like, it's added to her list for when she brings her family back because it was so good.
Yeah.
I haven't ever had that. I love their ramen, though. Their ramen is super, super good there.
Tage loves the poke bowl from there.
Oh, I do love the poke bowl, too.
She must have known that I'm like trying to look up, because I was like, crap, what is the name of that?
Poke bowl.
Yeah, the poke bowl.
So
my
good.
brain, it just like fell out of my head. The poke bowl, I'm adding that to my list, and I'm crossing off clam chowder. Because the poke bowl
I think that's a good trade.
is amazing, but also is priced fairly okay for the amount of stuff you get.
I
in
would
it.
agree, and I rarely finish it.
Always up there. Yeah, it's good. It's good. That whatever sauce they put in there,
so good.
And you sacrifice clam chowder for it.
Yeah, the clam chowder bread bowl is like a favorite of mine from a long time ago, but I haven't had it for the last couple of times. I always feel bad because I eat the inside of the bowl, but I don't eat the outside of the bowl, and I always feel kind of wasteful.
It's a lot of bread when you get a bread bowl.
It is a lot of bread.
It is a ton of bread. And I'm the same way. And then I just eat it all, and then I feel like garbage for a little while.
Right.
So
I was going to say, I've decided at the end of the bakery tour, you know how they have the little cart? They need to sell smaller loaves and like little travel butters, because I would just seriously eat the bread with some butter and walk around. It's so good.
I bring it home as a souvenir.
Sourdough bread is so
when I go
good.
without my kids, I'll bring the Mickey-shaped head of sourdough bread home for my kids, and they love it.
Teresa, I think, wants to do that, but I think, what was your reasoning for not doing that? You didn't have room in your luggage?
Yeah, putting it in my suitcase and putting it on the plane.
Yeah. I feel like
Was
I do
my
it as a
worry,
carry-on
It's
usually.
a carry-on,
Yeah.
and it smells. You smell it the whole way home. You smell sourdough wafting up from the airplane.
And you kind of just want to tear into it. Mm-hmm. It's really hard not to.
So
There are worse things.
Right.
Worst thing.
Mickey, my kids would probably be a little disappointed if Mickey was missing both of his ears.
Like, I don't know. That's how they sold
how
it
it
to me.
came,
I don't know
yeah.
what happened.
It was on discount.
Okay, so are we going with that for your turn? Is the poke bowl your
Poke bowl.
turn?
Perfect.
Okay, my
Poke
next.
bowl.
Okay, and let's stay in that soup arena, and I'm going to say the gumbo at Blue Bayou. Oh, it's so good.
It is so
And
good.
it's at Cafe Orleans too,
Yes. And especially on a chilly day, that's one of my favorite things.
with a nice little scoop of rice.
Producer
in the
James
middle.
loves their gumbo.
Yeah.
Oh,
it's
it's
good.
so good.
It's really well seasoned. It's
and it's
hearty.
not
It's
the
yummy.
same. You can go to the
Royal Street Veranda.
Royal Street Veranda, thank you, and get gumbo there. Not even close to the same. It has to be from Cafe Orleans or Blue Bayou.
Yep. So good.
And it's not enough
No, I was going to say you have to follow it with a Monte Cristo and pommes frites.
because it's a little cup of gumbo. And
Yeah, it
just
is
when you're
little.
like getting into it and the taste is filling your mouth, you're done. Mm-hmm. And there's no more.
So good.
Well, you know what you do? You just buy 2 of them.
And that's it.
Yeah. But I got to try a Monte Cristo too while I'm there.
I would just get the soup. I could live without the Monte Cristo. Although the Monte Cristo is good, the gumbo is top
Right.
notch.
I have yet to have the official Monte Cristo. I had the Monte Cristo when it was
that's
there
right.
for, was it Touch of Disney?
Touch of Disney. Yep.
At
right,
Smoke
right.
Jumpers, but I did not have it
The official
actually in New Orleans Square yet.
That one's a hit or miss for me. Sometimes it's really, really delightful and tasty, and sometimes it's a little bit too heavy, greasy. So we just try it every time. But that one's a good one to split with somebody. So you can do a cup of gumbo, split the Monte Cristo with someone else, and then that's plenty.
And the pommes frites come with it, which used to be one of my favorite Disney foods, but they
Yeah.
changed them a little bit.
They
They're
made
not
them
as
too
good as
fat.
yeah.
Oh.
They're like steak fries now,
Lame.
not shoestrings.
Yep.
Oh.
A lot more
Yeah, that's
potato, a lot less Parmesan and garlic, and I liked it with the Parmesan and garlic.
Oh,
So it's fine.
don't mess with the ratio.
Yeah,
I
don't mess
know.
with the ratio.
Yep. Okay, Katie.
All right, next on my list is the fried pickles at Carnation Cafe. So good.
And they're pickle spears, right?
Yes. Yep. The breading on them is just perfect. The presentation is really cute. They put them in a little basket with a newspaper, and I don't remember what kind of sauce it comes with. Is it just ranch? It feels like it's a spicy ranch, though, maybe.
Yeah, I think it's a spicy ranch.
Yeah. It's just amazing. And I love fried pickles anywhere, but they're my favorite at Disney.
I wish they would do them to go.
Oh, yeah. That would be nice. Dear Disney.
I wish we could grab them and walk down Main Street with them because lunch is not my favorite meal at Carnation.
Well, and that's a hard reservation to get, too.
Yeah. And I don't want
So
to
what
go
you're
just
saying
for
is they
pickles.
just need a fried pickle outdoor vending cart.
That's correct.
Yeah. That would be a good idea. A fried pickle window.
Yeah.
Like the beignet window, have
There you
a
go.
fried pickle window.
There you go.
And you could also get fresh pickles there, too. It would
That would
just
be
be
good.
pickles for days.
The pickle stand is right
There you go.
across Main Street from
Yeah.
there. They could just run them over throughout the day.
There you go.
I feel like we're solving the world problems here.
All right, Teresa,
Okay.
what's next on your list?
This is my total cheat because I couldn't pick one thing. Lamplight. I love brunch. I love lunch. Everything. I've not had something on that menu that I didn't thoroughly enjoy. It is so good.
What would you say
So
is your
good. Even,
absolute
like,
favorite?
the absolute favorite, I always have to get the potato skins.
Oh, me too.
They're very good.
I always have to get the potato skins. Last time we were there, we only did appetizers. And so we did the potato skins, the nachos, of course. And that was the first time I had tried they have a Brussels Caesar. Super good.
Oh,
roasted Brussels sprouts with like Parmesan cheese. And I think there's toasted pine nuts on them. Yum.
That sounds
We
really
did brunch there once. We all tried each other's stuff. Nobody had a yuck thing for, I don't know how they do it, but that restaurant is just solid.
It is. And the ambiance is amazing.
There's nothing there that stands out for me, I'm sorry to say.
Really?
Except I always think producer James loves the chilaquiles, which is only available for their brunch. But then also, and I have not had them, Teresa had them, when they had the little mini donuts.
That
are like a special thing. And I have not been there when they've had one that I've wanted.
There was a specific, I don't remember what the Oreo or something, maybe cookies and cream.
Yeah.
I have a lovely picture of them sitting up on the rail next to our table at nighttime with the fun. Was it the Fun Wheel or was it the Pixar Pal Around? It was probably the Pal Around in the background, kind of blurry. Maybe I'll share it on my Instagram. Those donuts are so good.
They are good.
Sorry, Tage, that you haven't gotten to have them. They're
That's okay.
delightful.
I know. I thought you were going to say that you had taken a picture and then it promptly fell into the lagoon.
Oh, that would have been a better story.
Or a seagull swooped down and grabbed it. There
you go. Yeah. Tay, you've had just the regular donuts, just none of the specialty donuts.
Yeah, and they were fine, but I want the specialty.
I like Lamplight Lounge too.
A lot. We try and make that an every time experience.
Are you guys? Have you guys tried the cocktails there?
Oh yeah.
Do you have a favorite of that?
So alcoholic. I haven't gone through that many of the alcoholic ones. For non-alcoholic, my go-to is the 2319.
Nice.
It's so fun. It's like a slushie, but it's got the cola in it. I don't know. It's unexpectedly delightful. And the Sea Witch. It's on the secret menu.
Yes.
Yep.
And it's pretty and it's,
we had a friend who ordered
Teresa,
the Sea Witch.
what do I get?
We had a friend who ordered the Sea Witch last time we were there, and I tasted it, and it was really tasty.
You used to get what was it? The Infinity? I don't think they have it anymore. The Infinity
Fizz.
Oh yeah,
that was it. The Infinity Fizz.
It's the one with the
because I don't
and boba.
I don't think Teresa will probably correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think I've ever ordered an alcoholic beverage at Disneyland.
We did when we did brunch there as the group of four. We did the mimosa flight, and we all tried the mimosas, but that's about it.
Right. Yeah, that's probably the only thing. I'm with Walt. There doesn't need to be alcohol in the park.
I agree.
I've heard that the alcoholic beverages at the Disneyland Resort are super high sugar and not so much alcohol. So, I mean, I don't know if that dissuades anybody from drinking them, but that's what I've heard about them.
See, more sugar sounds like more my speed.
She doesn't want to taste the alcohol.
Me either. I hate the taste of alcohol. I'm a strawberry daiquiri kind of guy.
There you go.
Like very froofy.
Spiked Dole Whips.
Back to your original.
That's right.
We've come full circle. All right, Tage, what's your next one? Decisions.
What are we on to? Is this number 3 or number 4?
I think this is just number 2. Just kidding.
4.
She's so
I'm
mean.
gonna have to say the classic churro.
Okay.
But I also like any of the churros that they put like Oreo cookie crumble stuff on.
So you're a cookies and cream kind of guy, it sounds like.
I love Oreos.
Nice.
And the fact that so many things come in an Oreo variation makes me very happy.
I love it.
But for those of you who have had churros at Disneyland and Disney World, the Disneyland churros are supreme.
Oh, absolutely.
Of course.
Because the outside is nice and crunchy and the inside's nice and soft and warm. And I feel like they're the exact same churros, but they prepare them or something differently at Disney World. I did not enjoy my churro I had at Disney World.
Me neither.
No, they're not good there. I agree. Yeah, and they're really good at Disneyland. Do you want to know what I discovered today? Our very favorite, well, my very favorite, I can't speak for Katie, but if you've never had the Fluffernutter churro at Disneyland, it's fantastic. And you can get it at Willie's Churro Cart in DCA. And it's usually the off-season churro, right? So during Christmas time or Halloween time, they'll have a seasonal churro, but that's off-season. And so I got excited actually just earlier today, and I thought, I bet the Fluffernutter's back. It is not. Instead, do you want to know what they replaced it with?
Is it the almond cookie?
It is
one
not.
Or whatever.
It is the lemon bar churro.
It's our least favorite one.
Bar none, the worst churro I've ever had at Disneyland.
Dang it.
Lemon and cinnamon. is not a good combination.
Teresa,
for
didn't
me.
we try that, or somebody around us tried that?
We did not try that. I don't think somebody around us tried it either. I think someone was telling us about it and they enjoyed it, I think. But yeah, we have not tried that.
I'm not a lemon fan, so anything that says lemon in it, I'm like, nope.
Yeah, no, pass.
However,
I like
that almond cookie churro sounds pretty good, though.
Yeah, I think that's what it was called. It's new. Like, I just saw it today. Somebody posted it.
We'll have to figure that out.
Yeah.
But I'm disappointed.
See, Disney seems to go through these rotations of flavors that they're into, because like they were really into cherry for a little bit.
Yes.
They were into like sour apple, and then
sour cherry.
And now for the 100th anniversary stuff, it seems like they're into
taro
lemon. And I'm like,
have you seen all the
taro.
purple taro stuff that they're coming out with?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, just bring the fluffernutter back. That's all I care about.
We need a cookies and cream and a fluffernutter, please.
Yes, and then we'll meet for churros.
Yes.
Okay,
there you go.
So my next one is the Ronto wrap at Ronto Roasters. I'm a big
how could I
fan.
have forgotten this?
Add it to your list.
Cross off the clam chowder. I love the Ronto wrap, and I'm a big fan of the lunch Ronto wrap. I don't. The breakfast is okay, but I prefer the lunch, and I love it with a Milo Run juice. The juice is also my favorite. That is like my perfect lunch at Disneyland. That and Bengal barbecue. It's hard to choose between, so I have to do like early lunch and late lunch, and have both.
See, and I love the breakfast Ronto wrap more than the lunch Ronto wrap. So.
Yeah. And
Me
a lot
too.
of people
I'm
do.
with you.
Yeah.
And then there's me. My last one is the Ronto-less wrap.
Oh,
I love it.
very
I
nice.
love it
That's
so
good.
much.
Yeah.
It's the sauce. There's something
Yes,
they
it's
have
that
like this
peppercorn sauce.
zippy sauce. It's so good.
It's really good.
So good.
So we hit the trifecta of Ronto wraps. Good job. All.
I feel like
Well
Ronto
done.
Roasters is just a win.
It is. Actually, I would say like most of the food in Galaxy's Edge is a pretty big win. Like I'm
Docking Bay 7's
pleasantly
great.
surprised with Docking Bay 7.
Really?
It took us a while to actually start there. What do I get? It's the Felution. You would think so. I'm
was just
not
looking.
vegetarian. I'm not vegan.
It's
but
not the yip, tip,
it's something
tip, yip.
about the meat. No, not the tip.
Nope.
Yep. It's
Teresa
the
gets
Felution
the
garden
Felution,
spread.
Oh, okay.
Kefka, and hummus
Yes.
garden spread.
It's got these plant-based meatballs in it with hummus, and then like this garden. It's a little like a relish, like a garden relish. So it's cucumbers and stuff like that, and then pita.
Oh, that sounds delightful.
That does sound good. And I've never
It's
eaten a Docking
light and
Bay 7.
refreshing.
Yeah, it sounds like that.
Okay, I'm adding that to my list.
The last thing we ate there that I liked was the Trandoshan style pasta with braised bantha. That was really good. They have a lot of flavor in the meat with that.
What
And the
exactly
broth
is
they
a
put in
braised
things.
bantha?
Braised bantha is beef. It's a chili braised beef with buttered garlic capitelli, sorry, seasonal vegetables, zesty avocado sauce, and balsamic glaze. If you're not a spicy person, I am not either, and I can eat this.
Okay.
See, here's my beef. Here's my beef
Here's your
with
bantha?
Here's my bantha with Star Wars with Galaxy's Edge. Is like I can't look at a menu and know what I want to order because I don't know what anything is. And so Ronto wrap was a win for me when I very first tried it because I'm like, what the heck is a Ronto? It's delicious is what it is. But like everything is so confusing to me, and I'm not a big Star Wars fan. Sorry for those of you who might be, but it's confusing to me. And so I haven't eaten a Docking Bay 7 because I don't know what a bantha is.
We'll have to try it next
Bantha's
time.
beef, tip yip is chicken.
Noted.
You just gotta go look at the photos.
And see what looks
Like
good.
go in the mobile order and pretend you're gonna make a mobile order because they show you pictures to everything when you go to the mobile order.
Right.
And just see what looks good. And if it looks good, it's probably gonna taste good.
So
Okay.
smart.
That is smart.
Because we do that with the foodie guides. We'll look at the thing and be
gosh.
like, "Oh, that looks good. Oh, that looks good." I'm like, I don't even know what this is, but I want it right now.
Immediately in my stomach.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So pretty.
Okay, who's next?
I think it's me, but my next was the breakfast Ronto wrap, which we already covered. So we'll move on to Teresa.
And is this our final round?
Yeah, this should be it, right?
Okay.
Can we have a bonus round at
Sure.
the end?
Yes,
You bet.
Where
because your
we talk
list has
about
gotten bigger.
something- No. Can we talk about something that we really liked that isn't there anymore?
Absolutely.
That's I was gonna say same thing. That's the bonus round.
Okay,
So
great
my
idea.
last one was the Phyllis garden wrap. So we hit those.
Okay.
Wow.
We're just zooming right through then. Good
Roasters.
job.
They should open like a downtown Disney location and
So-
then it'll do gangbusters.
They
So the
should.
wins are Bagel Barbecue and Ronto Roasters. Those
Yeah.
are the two
That everybody
I agree
seems
with
to
that.
agree on. Okay. Okay, Tag, then you're up, I guess.
Oh, man. Oh, Lord. Do I choose the Matterhorn macaroon or do I choose one of the cream cheese filled pretzels?
Let me give you a tip.
Love that.
She's going to tell you the Matterhorn macaroon.
Real quick. You can go ahead and have the Matterhorn macaroon.
I can go ahead and have it?
Yeah,
Why?
that can be your number
that
5.
Can be on your
That's
list.
your choice.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's your
okay.
choice.
Yeah.
We didn't have it for a long time, and it was one of those things we finally bought because I was like, well, this is the best deal in all of Disneyland, because at the time it was like $2 or $2.99 or something.
Yes.
And now they've raised it by like $1, which is unfortunate, but it's still really good. And we got one the last time I got the grilled cheese and soup, and I got a Matterhorn macaroon, and it was really good.
They are really good, and it's a good photo op. It's very Instagrammable. You hold that up in front of the Matterhorn.
They're just so cute.
Yeah.
I feel like the three of you are all the Instagram type people, and I'm just like, because Teresa we sit down and Teresa goes, we got to take a picture first.
Yeah.
And then she's got to like get it just right and like get the right background.
Make sure
and
the
I
napkins
just
are
hold it
out.
up, take the photo, and I say I'm eating.
I'm the same. We got to share some of the photos, especially of the food.
Yeah. Otherwise, it didn't happen.
That's right.
Well, see, and I like to do it. He makes fun of me, and then we're talking about our trip, and I've got all my photos up, and I'm flipping through them, and then he's looking over my shoulder. I'm like, see, this is why we take photos, so we remember.
Well, the thing that I laugh most about Teresa, she like the times that she's done it, it's turned out amazing. So like, let's start with that she is correct with this. But she takes all these like little clips, and she's like, oh, I'm going to make a reel later. And then it's like, for like a month after our trip, I have not seen a single reel. Then all of a sudden she'll be like, I finally made a reel of our trip.
I had time.
Yeah.
Yep, I'm an overthinker, so reels are hard.
Yes. Agreed.
Same. I agree. Okay. My turn.
Yep.
Cream cheese pretzel is my number one favorite thing at the Disneyland Resort. It's the best. And
You're number one.
Yeah, for sure. It's the one thing. It's the one thing I have to have every day. And I'll often order it from the refreshment corner with a raspberry Coke. And I don't mind the variations. This taro one, which has Oreos on it, by the way, doesn't look great to me. It looks too sweet. I don't have a big sweet tooth. And so I love the cream cheese pretzel because it's just the right amount of sweet without being too sweet. And it's just so good. That warm, melty cream cheese inside and that soft pretzel. I haven't ever even had a Mickey pretzel. They look terrible.
They are.
So I stick with
They're not great.
I don't know. They're very
usually
popular.
dry.
It takes a lot of plastic cheese to make that Mickey pretzel palatable.
Yeah.
Yeah. So everyone loves them, but I am just a stan of the cream cheese pretzel. It's the best.
It's really good. And I like
Teresa, what was the cream cheese pretzel that Kate got me in?
Toffee.
the toffee one. That's what I was just going to say.
Toffee.
I really
Yeah.
like that one.
I've had the
toffee
sour
one's so
cherry
good.
also, and the sour cherry was pretty good. I didn't hate it.
Really?
I was super nervous. It was at the Tomorrowland cart, and I tried it. It was good. The toffee one is really good. I'm okay with the plain. The plain is fine for me, but some of the variances are okay. I don't think I'll try the taro one, though. It looks like too much.
Yeah.
Just for Instagram. It's just pretty.
I'll just take a picture of it and then drop it in the trash can as I walk by.
Hand it to someone.
You're like, here, magic
Business
moment.
expense.
Yes.
Yep.
All right. And then my number last but not least is the churro toffee.
Yes.
Have you all had the churro toffee before?
Oh, yeah.
I had a problem.
Yeah,
for
he
a while.
did. He had a problem.
did.
Problem?
Somebody as a gift mailed us some churro toffee, and I was like, this is amazing. And I only had like the one piece, and it sat here at my office at home in my basement, and I would eat just a little bit off a day because I was like, I don't want this to go away. So then we have a friend who lives in Southern California. I said, can you please buy like 6 pieces and send it to me? And she did. And then when we went one of the times, I bought like 4 pieces and ate. And this was all within like, I don't know, like a 4-month period. And so then I was like, I think I'm churro toffied out. Like, I think I just had too much of a good thing. But it is really good.
Yeah, I agree. It's tasty. And it's an easy thing to bring home to family also because it travels well.
Yes, it does travel well.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good
Now
thing.
you're making me want some churro toffee
Yeah.
again.
And you're out, it sounds like. Your rationing has ended.
Time for some more.
Well, maybe we'll have to send you some next time we go if we beat you there.
Maybe. I don't know. Well, I'll just get addicted again. And
You
be like,
don't want us to be your
send me, like,
enablers.
7 of them.
Yeah.
Well, and that's gone up in price too. I think it's gone up $1 or $2 a piece since when I had my addiction problem.
Yeah, I think it has. Your
And then
addiction
it
is
was
more
so funny
expensive
'cause
now.
he had too much, and then you haven't had any since you like overdid it, and you've
Well,
been like
do we have
timid around
time?
it now.
Do we have a couple extra minutes on the podcast?
Yeah.
Okay. I just didn't know if you guys were in a rush. So
Nope.
I want to talk about too much because Teresa makes fun of me for this so bad. So we went for the first time and we had the, what was it?
The World of Color dining package.
The World of Color dining package at...
Wine Country
oh gosh.
or Carthay?
Nope.
No, it's in the Grand Californian.
A buffet.
It's not Storytellers?
Storytellers.
Storytellers. And we have never been to Storytellers. And we went and I just kept eating and eating and eating, and it was so good. And I was like, we're paying a lot of money for this dining package. I'm going to get my money's worth, and all of this tastes so dang good. And he brought out like some stuff. He's like, you got to try this and that and the other thing. And we left there. Mind you, this was, I don't know, what time was this, like 5 or something?
5 or 6, yeah.
Yeah. We walked into California Adventure, and I was walking down Hollywood Boulevard, and I felt so miserable. I said, Teresa, I just want to beach myself somewhere. I don't want to be walking around a theme park. And for the next, month and a half?
At least. He was like afraid to eat food.
Afraid to eat because I was so full. So when I would eat, I would just eat until I started to feel like starting to feel full, and I'd stop because I was like, I never want to feel like that again. It was miserable. No, it was bad. It was bad. But it tasted so good.
Like looking at attractions, like no.
Oh yeah, no Guardians with that full stomach.
No, nothing.
Tag, we should go together because that sounds like my kind of day. Like I'd go to the buffet and I'll have whatever they have.
Get your money's worth.
If it tastes good, bring it on over. I'll take it.
You know what? Then you and I can go sit in the Rivers of America area and just lay down and wait all day for Fantastic.
I'm down with that. I'm
it.
much more into atmosphere. The older I get, I'm much more into walking around and just looking at things.
But it was terrible because I just didn't want food for a long time after that.
So funny.
Ruined you.
Scarred.
I've never felt like that. And I've been on cruises before with and we had James and I laughed because we would say it's time for third dinner and second dessert. And never did I feel like I did after that.
Oh, that's so funny.
That is really
I mean,
funny.
that's a good tribute to how good the food is, I guess.
Yeah.
But never again, probably. PTSD from Storytellers.
I feel like if we went there, I would have that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
You'd bristle as you walked in. Okay.
Time for a bonus round, right?
You suggested it. Bonus round. What's the one thing you miss?
This is kind of a newer thing, but they had this taco trio thing at Rancho for the Haunted Mansion 50th. I don't remember what they called it, but they had a flatbread taco on there. It was so good. So it was like the fried flakiness, like a fry bread type thing. Oh my gosh, it was so good. And they had different spices to the tacos. I don't know what it was about that plate, but it was so good. I wish they wouldn't have gotten rid of it.
Bring it back.
Bring it back.
keep talking, Teresa. I'm looking it up. I found
I can't. Yeah.
It was Haunted Mansion.
the long forgotten duelist tacos.
That was it. The dueling.
Two fry bread tacos featuring grilled fajita beef and braised butter chicken served with Mexican rice and pickled vegetables.
That sounds really good. I like Rancho del Zocalo a lot, actually. I don't. I skip past it a lot because it's just tucked right in a spot that I don't walk by very often, and so I forget about it. But it's yummy. They have good food there.
Yes.
I had dinner there with Lynn from the Sweep Spot.
Oh, fun.
Nice. I have a beef with them a little bit because they used to be the only place in the resort that had Pib.
Oh,
And
yeah.
I'm a huge Dr. Pepper fan because the only thing I can drink at Disneyland, because I like soda, is Sprite because I'm not a cola person.
Okay.
And I want me some Dr. Pepper, dang it. Or a variant, a Pib Extra, whatever else they call it in other various things.
Dr. Thunder.
Yeah.
Oh, Dr. Thunder.
What was it?
I've never had a Dr. Thunder till literally 2 days ago, and I was like, this tastes too berry-like. This is weird.
It wasn't good. Okay, noted.
So even the freestyle machine at PIM Test Kitchen doesn't have Dr. Pepper? I guess it wouldn't because it's Coke, huh?
Wait a second. Does
maybe it
Pim
does.
have?
I don't know.
Well, something to look
We got
at
the-
next time you go.
Yeah, we got the
You
whatever.
might have made my day.
We'll have to look. They have mellow
Anyway,
yellow
I'll
there,
go
I
with
think.
They do have mellow yellow.
They have mellow
so-
yellow. If you need the
You know the
caffeine,
Midwesterners, because Midwesterners love their Mountain Dew.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, a lot of adults love their Mountain Dew. It's a thing. Mine's Coke Zero. I need to be able to find myself a Coke Zero or else.
Do they have that?
Yes, I can get that. That's what I usually get with my cream cheese pretzel, a Coke Zero with a splash of raspberry. Okay, I'll tell you my thing that I would love for them to bring back, and it's pretty simple. They used to before the shutdown, and I feel like it was the shutdown. I feel like it's when it went away, but they had a dark chocolate covered pineapple spear that you could get at all of the candy locations.
Oh,
and they don't make it anymore, and it was really yummy. It was awful to eat. It was messy. The chocolate would break off and fall, and you had to kind of hold on to it really carefully. And it was on a stick, which I feel like the stick could have been done away with, but it was really tasty, and I miss it.
That sounds good, actually.
It's really good. I wish they'd bring it back.
I'm looking at pictures from Pim, and I forgot the Choco Smash candy bars also.
Oh, yes.
Very good.
Yes.
Is that on your list?
It's so good.
Honorable mention.
Do you need to add that to your list?
Somewhere on there. It's somewhere on
Cross off that clam chowder.
For the third time. That poor clam chowder.
It's gotten the axe 3 times.
All right. I have a story of woe that made me come up with this.
Okay.
And Teresa laughs at me so much for it. When Riverbell Terrace used to do breakfast, which was the best breakfast, and I don't know why they got rid of it, but they had these breakfast potatoes, and they were the best breakfast potatoes I've had in my life. And I said this on our podcast stream the other day, and I will put it out to your people. I am willing, if there is somebody who worked there and has a recipe for it, I am willing to pay up to $100 for this recipe. I am that serious. It is that good. I want this recipe. And when I've written into Disneyland to ask them for this, they give me like the breakfast potato recipe from Carnation Cafe or something, and it's not the same thing.
What was special about it?
I don't know. It was just magical. They were small, nice little potato bites. They had a great ratio of potato to they had some peppers and stuff mixed in, and whatever seasoning they had, and they were like crunchy on the outside and soft. They were kind of like a potato churro with that texture. And I would go there because I wanted the breakfast potatoes, and I'd get like a pancake or something, but I loved the breakfast potatoes.
Interesting. $100, you guys. You heard it here. If you know, if you have a
get
connection.
in contact, and if I make it and it tastes like it, I will pay you $100 because I have looked for this recipe. James has found countless recipes of breakfast potatoes and tried to make these and recreate them, and nothing has come close to what these were.
Okay.
And he's tried the other breakfast potatoes around the resort, the Carnation ones, and I think Red Rose Tavern had some variation at some point, and nope.
I thought that, what was Oscar's famous potatoes or something? I thought that was good. Nope.
Nope, not so much. Huh?
Nope, it's Riverbell Terrace specifically. Tell us the year again.
Whenever they had breakfast, I don't know, 2015 or 16 or previously, I guess. I don't know. It was so good.
I thought you were going to ask to bring back the pretzel rods that you were obsessed with.
Oh, yeah. Runner up the caramel dipped, then chocolate dipped, then rolled in slivered almonds. Almonds? Yes. At Pooh Corner. I used to buy those like I bought the churro toffee, and I would eat them, and they were so good. And the last time one of the first times that it was gone, I went there and I was so excited because I was like, I get to have my pretzel rods. And all they had was a bunch of freaking Tigger tails and
and churro toffee.
I feel like that needs to be made into a t-shirt. All they had was a bunch of friggin' Tigger tails.
I went to Disneyland and all I got was a friggin'
We got to coordinate with you guys for merch, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
Okay, do you have a throwback?
I have not something that they used to have, but something they used to do to a food that I wish they would bring back, and that is cut up the caramel apples for you so that you can eat them right then.
Oh.
They used to slice those up for you, and that was my favorite thing, to walk around the park eating them. Now you get one and you can take it back to your hotel, but then still, how do you cut it, right? So I miss that.
We should just bring our own apple cutter.
Yeah, right. Just bring a big knife in your suitcase.
Right.
It's fine.
No security. And when security questions you, it's for the apples.
That's right.
So you like that too, don't you? The caramel apples.
Oh yeah, but cut up. You have it
Yes.
you cannot just gnaw on them. It doesn't work.
No, the chocolate falls off. You miss half the goodness. Yeah.
And your ratio's off too.
Exactly.
Then you, eat all the sweet stuff and then you just have the apple left.
Okay, well, I feel like this was a good episode.
Oh my gosh,
you
guys made me hungry though.
I know, and now I've got a longer list of things I need to eat next time I go.
Yep. Thank you
You'll have
guys.
to let us know once you try these things.
Yes,
What you think.
I'm excited for that birria toasted cheese sandwich.
Yes.
Is that close to what it's called?
It's delicious. It's so good.
I hope it's still there next time we go.
I found apparently back in 2019, I don't know if these taste the same, but at Riverbowl Terrace, they had a southern fried bone-in pork chop that came with like a side of potato stuff that kind of looks similar.
Okay.
But I'm trying to go through Yelp, trying to find like an old picture because I want to show people specifically what I'm talking about because, oh, here they are.
You're going to have to save the picture, send it to Teresa.
Share a screen. I'm sharing my screen.
Okay, here we go.
She's going to need to post it on Instagram.
Yeah.
I have to, hold on. And then come on.
The way that we're all leaning in, looking at our computer screen.
Okay, here we go. Boom. It was part of the Mark Twain. Is it sharing?
Yeah.
I can't tell if it's sharing.
Okay.
Tag, I'm sorry. Those don't even look that good.
They taste amazing, though.
Okay, I'm glad. They look kind of mushy.
They look pretty
The
basic.
picture's from 2014.
Yeah, they don't look. But you built them up so high, so I don't know what I was expecting, but
Whatever. More for me.
Yep, more for you.
That's awesome. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us. We appreciate it.
Yeah.
And this was a fun one. I think that anyone who's headed there soon might have a long list of things they need to eat now.
Mm-hmm. I know I do.
I do too.
Thank you guys so much.
And then don't even mention all of the foods that they throw in for the festivals and different celebrations. I mean, it's just. I need to be local just so I can eat all of it.
Yes, you never will run out of things to try at the Disneyland Resort. That is for sure.
So real quick, where can our listeners find you guys?
Pretty much anywhere you get your podcast from. We're on iTunes, all that good stuff, but it's DL Weekly Podcast. We're also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Also just DL Weekly there. Or you can find us at dlweekly.net. Nice.
And Tag, go ahead and plug your hub crawl.
And when I'm not doing DL Weekly, I'm doing the hub crawl with a concierge person, Eric. Yeah, so you can catch that out at thehubcrawl.com. Look for the hub crawl on whatever your podcast client is. And that's where you can find us. We do a weekly round or a bi-monthly, I don't know, every other week round table. People bring questions. We answer them. It's a lot of fun.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun. We've been on there before and we had a good time.
I loved it.
Well, thank you so much again, Teresa and Tag, for joining us today. Go check them out at the DL Weekly and the hub crawl. And if you haven't subscribed to our podcast, please do that. And if you would be so inclined, we'd love a 5-star review and rating on Apple Podcasts and a review anywhere else you listen to podcasts.
Absolutely. And make sure you're following us on Instagram at ropedrop.parkhop. And you can message us, email us, ropedrop.parkhop@gmail.com with any of your questions. And thanks for listening, guys. We'll see you next week.
We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.